Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I'd come back and wish you a good day to continue to talk about this the spiritual ascension path. For our consciousness will soon be our mental and emotional bodies will be unified and into the oneness of life, which we're already there if we can accept that and let go of all those things that are illusionary, that prevents us from feeling that connection to the unity of all. For the preparation for ascension is mainly unconscious. Once we choose that we want to ascend, we want to become a higher self, there is this inner process of work that the inner self is doing, that our soul and spirit is doing, that prepares us. Most of the work is done while we sleep or while we're in meditation or while it's an unconscious process, but we want to be a cooperative component to the process. We need to align, to listen, to hear the messages of spirit and to align ourselves with that, whatever that is, whatever the message is, what feels strong and feels good and strong inside of us is really what we need to follow. For we have to stop thinking of God as someone that's far distant in the sky, that's indifferent to what's going on in our life. For there is no one closer to us than God. God is everywhere. Even in the Quran, it says it's closer than your mouth, closer than your teeth, closer than your ears. But in a sense, of course, the guides and the archangels and the angels and the ascended master live in the higher planes of reality in heaven, and they go down into the astral planes. And as we raise our consciousness, we're able to communicate with them, or through dreams or whatever. But God is never distant from us. There is always there, and I know whenever my thoughts deviates, God reminds me, because I have this strong connection that to bring me back into this alignment. There is this, we have a physical heart and we have a spiritual heart, and above that there is this other chakra, the communication, and in between those two chakras there is a small chakra. It's very important. It's called the sacred heart, and it's represented physically in the physical body by the gland named the thymus. The thymus is the immune system, but it's also the sacred heart. In order to activate it, whenever you feel a little weak, you do that very gently, 1 or 2 minutes. It activates the thymus. It reinforces your strength, your immune system. For in advanced civilization, when beings incarnate in physicality, the thymus is just almost as big as the heart. It's very powerful, which makes them completely immune to any external disease or whatever. But here in this planet, when we're born, we are injected with it's not the only reason, but the injection of the vaccines just create a shrinking of the thymus. That's like, ooh, and so it can really unfold. But as we grow, we overcome that, and we can unfold our thymus and connect to this sacred heart. For once we open the doors between our own heart and the sacred heart, we will be able to exchange the love between Creator, between our inner self and our human consciousness. We'll bring this experience of love and worship, and we have to find fulfillment. We'll be able to find fulfillment from the connection between our love, the love of God, and our own love. There is a job we need to apply to. That's been asked. We're all here on a mission to serve humanity, or we want to enjoy our life in the process. That's the point. If we don't enjoy our life, we're outside of our mission. For life is not created to of course, the Buddha said life is suffering. For in the physical realm, there is all kinds of obstacles to true happiness. But yet, the Buddha proved that you can find this true ecstasy, this serenity and lucidity. And this job is to align ourselves, to ask for this, to move into this timeline where we'll see in the next coming years that there will be a total unification of all the New Age communities, with all the religious communities and all the atheist communities, that we will become catalysts to this, bringing this unification, that even materialist scientists will align to that for the highest good of all, and will be able to free humanity and the planet. For even in the New Age community, there is a great deal of the beliefs of the New Age community is not all fully aligned. So we need to unify the world, unify ourselves with our soul and spirit, and unify the world in the process. For conflict never serve brutality and violence. We can look at history. It's never the way to go about it. There is always better ways, like through through communication, through compromise, through finding a way where everybody can come out of in the win-win situation without having to go into brutality, violence, and war, and all those things. They no longer work, and the earth is unfortunately it's been going on for thousands of years. We should grow, we should have matured and stop doing that. But there is a lot of investment. When people invest in advanced technology, they want to use them. So they're like children in emotional maturity. They may be bright people that create or utilize who have access to those war technologies, but they're very immature. Emotionally, and so they have those toys and they want to use it, so they have to create wars in order to be able to apply all the money they spend in those technologies. So it's about the more peace we can make, and the more people join this inner peace movement, the faster those the people will no longer want to participate or pay for that through taxation and so on, and so that's why there is rebellions around the world against corruption, against abuse, against all those things. People are awakening. For there are times of activity, and they have to have time for reflection. Because if we're always in activity, we're always in agitation, but we never find serenity. So it's about finding the connection, the harmonious connection between action and non-action. Even children they need activity, but they have to be taught for non-action reflection of what the action brought to them. And so just wanted to make this message today. I'm going to pull a few cards from the angels, just 5 cards. The past is compassion. Compassion is love. Compassion is doing good to ourselves and doing good to others. The more compassion we have, the more lucidity and courage we'll have as well. The situation we are now is hesitation. We are given a certain time in order for our will to solidify, to know what we want. It's like we're receiving many messages from God, from Spirit, but many people do not even open those messages. They feel, or they've received it, but they feel like the message has expired, or they feel that they're not worthy, or they feel, or they don't even hear it, they bypass it. This is too good to be true. But in essence, this is really what we need to understand, and not to doubt our own inner guidance and self. And what is coming in the near future is a renewal, it's a rebirth, a regeneration. What we're working on now is action, is finding the right action. What is the right action? What is it we need to do in this present situation in order to move on to the next level and find contentment? And the outcome is abundance. Abundance is a natural flow that even on the world stage we have created a society that's where money rules. Everything is about money. If you have money, you're honored in society. For those who have nothing, are just a number, and they're not even considered as human beings. But we have created this, because we've created this system which is based on lack. Before we can get rid of the money, we have to turn to shift the whole parameters of the monetary and economical system into a phase of abundance where everybody can have. There is enough money for everybody. It's just the powers that be say, well, if everybody has money, we lose our control, we lose our power. And so it's about returning to this kind of jubilee. There will be happening around the world, and there is all kinds of things that Spirit has been working behind the scene to return to the world, to a system of abundance before we can move into the freedom where we won't even need money. We'll be free. And so, I hope this resonated with you. The paintings behind me. This is a large scene. There's all kinds of things in this painting. It's very, very complex. There's all kinds of interactions, and there's this like a salon with those people here, but there's all that's happening in this wall. And on this other wall, there is this painting. It's an inspiration that I get from a series of a very, very interesting message. It may still be online from it was called The Gold Ring, and from the Teachers of the Light. And they came out in 2007, and so it is a statement, that's an invocation that was inspired by this group of ascended masters, and it says, "I am keeper of life, and I hold this frequency pure to grow. I am keeper of life, and I know the essence of energy flow. I am keeper of life, and I share this energy of spirit soul. I am keeper of life, and I move into creation with love and light." It's quite a powerful statement. And because as we realize that, we come into our power. And this is a painting that was inspired by, there are 15 symbols. And so it says center, expand, balance, prepare, express, extend, unlock, flow, perceive, relate, realize, act, transform, connect, and manifest. So those are very powerful symbols. They were given by the extraterrestrial. By an extraterrestrial groups called the Assassins, the hybrid civilization, which they have a representative, a first contact expert that was sent to the Earth, who's been communicating for decades now. His name is Bashar. He communicates through the vessel named Dero Anka. And so he's for those who were meant to be cards, but I couldn't help myself. And when I did this painting, I had personal contact with him. It was quite interesting. And as the result of that, I witnessed the civilization moving from the upper fourth dimension into the fifth dimension. Spirit showed me that, and so it was quite interesting. And so listen to Bashar. He's a really nonsense kind of guy, but he's got a lot of good sense of humor. It's really quite fun to listen to. I'm going to sing a song. I was singing a French song, but I thought I'd sing an English song to finish that. I'm going to pull a few more cards. It's a song, not sure, I think it was Elvis Presley, the king that sang it. Well, it goes like this. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I make you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. So always forgive yourself for your past. No matter what, you cannot change the past. The only thing is you can transform your experience in the present. So that's really what. If you think that's something in the past, ask for forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive others, and move on to the realization of the fullness within any relationship. We'll pull a few more cards. It was a challenging day. Sometimes I feel I'm living a pressure cooker for the past year. It's like my emotional body is ready to explode. But Spirit says, well, don't forget about that. Just focus on what the freedom that is before you. The highest wisdom for us today is karma. It's about understanding that unconditional love will eliminate karma. It's really about forgiveness, because we all have accumulated all kinds of unconscious, we have created unconscious cause that we need to transmute into positive. So it's about forgiving, about allowing love to flow, and to understand our karma, that if we lock into an old cycle, it's because we've created it, and so we want to let go of that old cycle. What we need to understand is the higher self. For the higher self is already free from, it doesn't have any karma, it does not have any shadows, it does not have any doubt, it does not have any fear. So it's about aligning to become that, to become the one. So to be the I am that you are, to the I am that I am, the I am that you are. And so the higher self is really is understanding what this higher self is has plans for us. For it will not reveal everything. It will keep a lot hidden for life has to unfold step at a time. What we need to do is effort. There is a certain effort that needs to be produced in order to achieve the result we are seeking to achieve. And we already know, and the outcome is a direction. We're going to be moving into this direction. Always stay focused on the north, on what is the highest. Your highest dimensions of vision and what's your highest fulfillment, and to focus on this on the personal level first, but then on the higher level to know that we're moving into this timeline where there will be a resolution where all beings will be able, all religions, or religious communities, or New Age communities, or ATS communities will be able to find contentment, and they will be at peace, and there will be no more need for having to dominate. But it will take a little bit of work, but we're all part of that process. We've accepted this mission, we've accepted this job, and now we're in the thick of it, so to speak. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy your day, and that there's so much that is here to give, that will be unfolding, and so be prepared to receive it, and allow your guides to assist you to whenever you need anything, just telepathically ask. Always ask to receive. Thank you very much. Namaste.